President Trump's new move after that attack on the world's oil supply, now claiming Iran was likely behind it, but saying he doesn't want war with anybody, despite his locked and loaded threat. This as gas prices climb.
No end in sight. Nearly 50,000 United Auto Workers striking again this morning after late-night negotiations failed. Now, the race against the clock to strike a deal and how it could affect the economy.
I have no idea what happened.
Massive explosion. The new drone video showing the aftermath of that deadly building blast, killing a fire captain, injuring 6 others. What an employee noticed just moments before.
Cure for the common cold? The new research just published. The medical discovery. Dr. Ashton is here.
Lucky to be alive. The 3-year-old spotted dangling 13 stories up. How he was saved just in time. First on GMA, the new interview with beloved Jeopardy host Alex Trebek.
As long as I can walk out and greet the audience and the contestants and run the game, I'm happy.
His important health update, the news he's sharing right here on GMA as he valiantly continues to face pancreatic cancer.
And stepping up for the uptown girl. Christy Brinkley's daughter, Sailor, sweeping away the ballroom, filling her injured mom's dancing shoes. What they're saying about that powerful performance on GMA this morning.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Still thinking of that video. Christy Brinkley in the video.
Oh, yeah.
The hat and everything,
One of my
looking good. Good morning, America. Great to have you with us on this Tuesday morning. You know how we love Tuesdays. And what a performance in the ballroom, Michael.
Absolutely. Christy Brinkley's daughter, Sailor. She had just 3 days to rehearse and get ready for the premiere of Dancing with the Stars. How do you guys think she did?
Really well. Yeah, the audience definitely thought she did well. She nailed it, according to them. She got a big standing ovation. We're going to have much more on that ahead. But, I mean, they look exactly alike. If you look just closely, you think you're looking at Christy.
I know she's proud of her daughter. But first, we're going to begin with the latest on those tensions between the U.S. and Iran. After saying the U.S. was locked and loaded, ready to retaliate over that attack on key oil facilities in Saudi Arabia, President Trump now appears to be taking a different stance, saying he wants to avoid war. Chief Global Affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz has the latest there in Washington. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, Robin. The Secretary of State is squarely pointing the finger at Iran for the attacks. And this morning, a senior official telling ABC that a nearly intact cruise missile and drone were found, which could be important evidence. But the president seems in no hurry to definitively pin the blame on Iran or take any retaliatory action.
The attack was brazen and highly sophisticated, with more than 20 explosive-laden drones and nearly a dozen cruise missiles slamming into the oil facilities in Saudi Arabia, leaving the world's largest refinery smoldering. But after a weekend of strong words and warnings, President Trump now saying he suspects Iran was behind the attacks, but telling our John Carl he wants to be certain.
We're having some very strong studies done, but it's certainly looking that way at this moment, and we'll let you know. As soon as we find out definitively, we'll let you know, but it does look that way.
A senior administration official telling ABC News there is an unclassified statement ready to be released showing no doubt Iran carried out the strikes from its own soil, including information that the attacks all came from the north. But the president was restrained in his comments on Monday.
I don't want war with anybody. I'm somebody that would like not to have war.
In June, after the U.S. accused Iran of shooting down one of our drones, the U.S. military was close to being locked and loaded for a retaliatory strike, only to have the president shut it down because he said he was worried about loss of life. And there were those oil tankers the U.S. said were struck by Iran as well. So what is his message to Iran?
I think I'll have a stronger message, or maybe no message at all, when we get the final results of what we're looking at. But right now, it's too soon to say. There's plenty of time. You know, there's no rush.
This morning, Iran is saying there is no chance that Iran's president will meet with President Trump next week at the UN. And while the administration is figuring out how to respond to these attacks, experts are saying that within weeks, gas prices could rise 10 to 25 cents a gallon, Michael.
All right, Martha, the world is watching. Thank you so much for that. Now we're going to turn to the latest on that major strike against General Motors. Nearly 50,000 United Auto Workers protesting again today after another round of negotiations failed overnight. Alex Perez is in Detroit with the very latest. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Michael. It's now day 2 of this national strike, and even though both sides were back at the bargaining table, union officials tell me they are nowhere near reaching a deal. Now, I want you to take a look behind me here. You can see workers on the picket line here. This is pretty much how it's looked since this strike started. Workers marching and chanting here. Now, we've talked to a lot of these workers, and they tell us this is all about better wages, better benefits, and sharing in that $8.1 billion profit that GM made last year. A lot of these employees took concessions during that 2009 government bailout, and they say that period is now over. Michael?
And Alex, if this strike drags on, there could be an even bigger long-term impact.
Yeah, that's right, Michael. This not only impacts the workers and the automaker, but experts believe in the long term it could impact the economy. Each one of these employees, experts say, generates 6 to 7 jobs outside of the plant. So that means suppliers, restaurants, and other services. If they start to cut back, some of those other people can feel the impact in the economy as well. Michael?
All right, a lot of people depending on the deal. All right, thank you so much, Alex. Amy?
All right, Michael, now to the investigation into that deadly explosion in Maine. Take a look at this new drone video showing the devastation following a massive blast that killed a firefighter and injured 6 other people. Gio Benitez is there on the scene in Farmington with the very latest. Good morning, Gio.
Amy, good morning to you. Those firefighters were investigating a gas odor when that building just exploded. And take a look behind me because nothing is left behind here. Now a family and a community are in mourning.
I have no idea what happened.
This morning, the dramatic images from the scene of a deadly building explosion that killed a veteran firefighter. New drone video capturing what used to be a massive building.
The impact blew our walls off and everything's ruined, but it is what it is. Just thankful to be alive.
Authorities had been called out to a special needs center following reports of a gas leak.
Propane problem at that location, so they leaked.
When firefighters were investigating, the 2-story building exploded, killing 68-year-old Captain Michael Bell and injuring 6 others. As Bell's body was removed, we saw his colleagues paying tribute. Overnight, a vigil for the fallen firefighter.
We feel it's important to support the town and show that we care for our first responders and the people who really try to help others.
A maintenance worker from the building reporting a gas odor Monday morning, employees evacuating. This morning, as authorities sift through the rubble, employees are calling that maintenance worker who reported the odor a hero.
If he hadn't been putting tables away in the basement at that time, we'd all have been in that building when that happened.
And we should tell you that this blast was so big that some of the surrounding homes in this area, they were damaged here, but thankfully none of the residents were injured. Now investigators are trying to figure out what caused this explosion. Robin.
Want to know that. All right, Gio, thank you. Now to that growing fire threat out west, prompting evacuations in Utah last night. Dry and gusty winds are fueling flames. Power even cut to tens of thousands of customers in high fire danger areas. Ginger back from LA tracking it all for us. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning to you, Raman. Some of the numbers we saw, 50 to 76 mile per hour gusts. This is the Francis fire. It's just south of Salt Lake City. This was about 200 acres burning. They did have those evacuations in place, but then the front passed and the threat lifted a bit, so they lifted the evacuations. I think there could be more today, though, because that front is diving to the south. So there's a high wind warning for gusts up to 65 miles per hour in parts of Wyoming, and the red flag warnings exist still in southeastern Utah. This is going to keep moving to the east, and we have to worry about the tropics, which I'll tell you about in a bit. Michael.
All right, thank you, Ginger. Now to breaking new developments in the vaping crisis. Another death now linked to e-cigarettes. This comes as the CDC sounds the alarm, activating its emergency operations center. Steve Osasami is there in Atlanta with more. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you, Michael. There was another death, as you just said, connected to the use of e-cigarettes, this time reported from health officials south of Fresno, California. Another person struggling to breathe who didn't make it. Here in Atlanta, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control is putting together an emergency operations center in response to the cases of lung injury associated with e-cigarette product use or vaping. Their latest numbers, 6 people dead across 6 states and 380 cases of lung illness reported across 36 states and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Health officials from coast to coast are encouraging users of e-cigarettes to stop vaping until they can figure out what is causing people to get sick. Amy?
Yeah, we certainly hope people will heed those warnings. Steve, thank you so much. Now to that possible medical breakthrough. Researchers at Stanford University and UCSF making a big discovery that could help lead to a cure for the common cold. Dr. Ashton is here with all the details. All right, Dr. Ashton, tell me about this scientific advance. Is it a cure?
Not yet, but possibly. And we need to tell our grandmas you can put the garlic away because it does look like they're onto something here. In the past, the virus that causes the common cold, called the enterovirus, it's sneaky, so it evades targeting. We can't disable that virus. What they did at UCSF and Stanford is they actually targeted the receiver of the virus. So if you think of it like this lock and key, if the lock is actually the cell that gets infected, the key is the virus. Instead of disabling this, they disabled the protein on the cell that is found to be non-essential, so that virus cannot infect those cells. Not just important for the common cold, but also that enterovirus, which has been implicated in that AFM, acute flaccid myelitis. So very, very interesting research.
So what are the next steps for it to actually become a cure?
Not ready for prime time yet because this was tested in mice. They have to develop a drug that actually blocks that protein in cells, and then of course they have to test it. So until that time, wash your hands, sneeze into your arm, and maybe keep listening to Grandma for a little bit while longer.
All right, Jen, thank you.
Always listen to Grandma.
Yeah,
and to you too,
exactly.
Jen. New trouble for Antonio Brown, the embattled NFL star, facing multiple new allegations this morning, accused of sexual misconduct, refusing to pay former employees. Paula Ferris has the latest details.
This morning, more accusations against Antonio Brown. A new allegation has surfaced involving another claim of sexual misconduct by the New England Patriots star. According to an article published Monday in Sports Illustrated, an unnamed female artist accuses him of unwanted advances while she was painting a mural of him at his Pittsburgh home 2 years ago.
She alleges that while she was working, kneeling down in front of a wall in front of Brown's house, she turned around to find him standing behind her, naked except for a hand towel. She told him to stop. She went back to work. She told him she was not interested in his advances.
According to SI, the woman is not pursuing charges or remuneration, though she was bothered by his alleged behavior. Brown's lawyer responding on social media, tweeting, Antonio Brown has reviewed the sexual misconduct allegations made by an unnamed artist included in a recently published Sports Illustrated article and denies that he ever engaged in such activities. The article also raises questions about Brown's character, detailing various lawsuits against him in which he's accused of refusing to pay several past employees for their work and their services. According to Sports Illustrated, Brown is named in a half-dozen lawsuits for unpaid debts. ABC News has obtained 3 of those complaints, which include a doctor, a former personal assistant, and a trainer, all saying Brown stiffed them for thousands.
The pattern seems to be that Antonio Brown asks these people to do work for him. He charms them into entering a business relationship with them. And then when the bill comes due, Antonio Brown often goes AWOL.
Brown's already facing a civil lawsuit from his former trainer, Brittany Taylor, who on Monday met with NFL officials after accusing him of 3 instances of sexual assault, including rape in 2018. Brown denies her allegations, and his attorney says any sexual interaction with Mr. Brown was entirely consensual.
Antonio Brown, the newest Patriot.
But Brown's off-the-field problems don't appear to be affecting his time on the field.
Caught by Brown, touchdown, New England.
ESPN reporting Brown is being allowed to play, not placed on the commissioner's exempt list since there's no criminal investigation.
Catch and curl, Antonio Brown.
And Brown's lawyer says they will not be commenting any further on these new allegations as reported in Sports Illustrated. As for Brittany Taylor, who met with league officials on Monday, the information gathered, it is crucial in determining the league's next steps. You guys, they could still bench him. Remember, the league at the end of the day has the final say here.
They do. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
All right,
Stay
Paula.
tuned.
Thank you, Paula. And now to a Saturday Night Live shakeup. The show firing one of its new cast members before he even appeared on the broadcast. This comes after past racist remarks surfaced. Chris Conley is tracking the latest from Los Angeles. Good morning to you, Chris.
And good morning, Michael. The news coming down on Monday, comic Shane Gillis out at SNL after just a few days amid a firestorm of criticism.
From the Stormy Daniels allegations.
Stormy, this is Michael Cohen. Are you alone?
Yes.
And what are you wearing? To the opioid crisis.
I want to use heroin, but I also want to get stuff done.
Saturday Night Live doesn't steer clear of controversy in its sketches. Recent days, though, have seen SNL dealing with its own controversy. The show declaring in a statement on Monday it is dropping one of its new hires, 31-year-old stand-up comic Shane Gillis.
I took skull out of my mouth to come up here. And I didn't vote for Donald Trump. Makes me like the Nelson Mandela of central Pennsylvania.
But a video of Gillis from about a year ago surfaced from Matt and Shane's secret podcast, in which he mockingly mimicked a Chinese accent and used a racist slur to refer to Asian people in Chinatown. Reaction was immediate and unfavorable. Gillis issued an initial statement saying, "I'm happy to apologize to anyone who's actually offended by anything I said. I am trying to be the best comedian I can be. And sometimes that requires risks." Pablo Estore of ESPN's High Noon tweeting, "It was only a risk because you and your hack friend are dumb enough to record it." Enter Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang. In a series of tweets on Saturday, Yang excoriated anti-Asian racism and slurs. But after going through Gillis's work, Yang said, "He does not strike me as malignant or evil. I do not think he should lose his job. We would benefit from being more forgiving rather than punitive." The show opted otherwise, announcing his removal on Monday, saying, "We were not aware of his prior remarks. The language he used is offensive, hurtful, and unacceptable." Gillis issuing a statement saying he respects the decision, but it feels ridiculous for comedians to be making serious public statements, but here we are. I'm a comedian who was funny enough to get SNL. That can't be taken away. Many on social media praised the decision. Former SNL cast member Rob Schneider did not, tweeting, "I am sorry you had the misfortune of being a cast member during this era of cultural unforgiveness." Many different perspectives. SNL's new hires do include Bowen Yang, who will become the first Chinese-American cast member in the show's soon-to-be 45 seasons on the air. As for presidential candidate Andrew Yang, he tweeted that he hopes to sit down with Gillis soon. Guys?
We'll see if that happens. All right. Thanks so much, Chris.
All right, and we have a lot more coming up this morning. Next, our one-on-one with Alex Trebek, the new developments in his health battle. He is opening up first right here on GMA this morning.
And baseball legend David Ortiz, Big Papi, now taking us inside those terrifying moments, the shooting that nearly killed him and the doctors who saved Big Papi's life. But first, let's go back to Ginger.
You know, and I have to start with Southeast Texas, Houston, Texas City, Galveston. If you are watching, you are about to have a ton of rain. You're in a flash flood watch for up to 10 inches in the next couple of days. That thing that's hanging off the Gulf has been trying to make itself a tropical cyclone. It's not. Doesn't matter what it becomes. All the way up to Lufkin through the end of the week, we're going to be watching for those heavy rains. And then, of course, we've got to check in on Humberto because it is a hurricane and it could become a major hurricane by tomorrow as it passes north of Bermuda. They're in a tropical storm watch. 6 to 11-foot waves and rip currents from North Carolina through Florida, so please just don't get in the water. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, the Tuesday Trivia sponsored by Amazon.
Free one-day delivery on millions of items with Prime.
Feeling like fall today with not much sunshine until very late in the day. So count on some clouds and maybe an isolated shower or sprinkle coming through. We start out with the kids at the bus stop in the lower 70s, recess time 73, drop-off time under 80 degrees and will stay in that comfort zone with low humidity and under 80 degrees for Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, we bump it up to 80, but still low humidity. And right now this weekend is looking dry, but getting up to 88 degrees on Sunday.
BRB.